All I keep hearing is that it's really hard to find a PlayStation 5 online. In stores, it's impossible, but even going on eBay or Amazon, you're just not gonna see them. But the other day, I went on eBay, found one in 5 minutes, and it got to me that same week. And today, we're gonna take a look at it. Yeah, the GS5, it's close enough, right? I know you're wondering, did I actually mean to order a GS5 or did I maybe type in a G instead of a P? Well, we'll answer that after we cover the biggest factor of all. That's his video sponsor.
Today's video is sponsored by Factor. Factor makes meeting your nutrition goals easier than ever by delivering fresh, never frozen meals right to your doorstep. Summer is here, and if you're looking to drop a few pounds, you want to start by making things easier in the kitchen. Factor removes all of the hassle and time spent when shopping for and preparing meals. Factor now offers 32 meals per week, including 11 keto options, plus lots of seasonal add-ons. It's a great way to try something new while sticking to your goals for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and everything in between. These meals come together in a few minutes, just pop it in the microwave and you're good to go. I tend to be very busy during the day, and bouncing around between home and office can make it difficult to plan out a healthy lunch. So being able to grab a packaged meal from Factor and have it ready in just a few minutes is huge. And the best part, there's no mess from cooking a big meal in the kitchen. I mean, who really wants to spend hours cooking and cleaning anyway? With fresh, never frozen meals that are so delicious, you won't believe they're actually nutritious. Head to go.factor75.com/SpawnWave120 and use code SpawnWave120 to get $120 off. That's go.factor75.com/SpawnWave120 and use code SpawnWave120 to get $120 off. Once again, a big shout out to Factor for sponsoring today's video.
So I've been seeing people talk about this fake PlayStation 5 online for a while now, and I've been meaning to eventually order one and take a look here on the channel because, I mean, it's absolutely hilarious what they've done here with this, and I have no idea what's on this system. I just ordered it on eBay. It's like 60 bucks, and well, I guess we'll find out for ourselves here in real time. First though, let's take a look at the box. The GS5, that's right. It just says 5 Pro down here. We're going through very, very clear composite connection. It's plug and play. The controllers look like original PlayStation controllers, and the system does have that PlayStation 5 aesthetic, the digital PlayStation 5, no disc for this one, but 2 USB ports on the front here, and then we have what looks like a reset and a power button. And it has like the two-tone look with the plastic fins at the top here. All the way around though, it's funny because they still use the PlayStation like font for Game Station 5. 2 players, plug and play. Oh, look, here they show stereo sound. We have 2 different audio channels rather than here it's just yellow. I guess we'll figure out which one is the correct one. Otherwise though, oh, look at that. They have a little stand. All right, this is gonna be fun. I've noticed they don't have any kind of like advertisement for the games that are on this system, which might be on purpose because I have a feeling there is some software on here that is probably not allowed. Have this system, just kind of plastic all the way around it. Nothing else though. This is sort of it. I don't even know if there's a manual in here. Oh, there is, look at that, there we go. Just kind of shows us how to hook it up. They also have a pistol right there. Otherwise though, we have a typical power cable, which looks like it is just the micro USB here, no USB-C. We do have the audio jack to, oh, it's just one channel. So we have mono out for audio, and then we have our typical composite video there, and then a couple of, the worst, imagine the worst controller you can think of, and then this is worse. Look at the start button, doesn't even fit in its mold correctly. It's very, very far up, by the way, look at that. And there are no shoulder buttons, despite having spots for shoulder buttons. But hey, you get 2 controllers, so you don't have to buy an extra one if you want to do 2 players. That's nice. Then we have our little stand for the system. Although I don't even know if the system is set up to really go sideways anyway. It's just kind of has some indents there to line up and sit down. The system itself is extremely, everything here is just really light. It feels like there's nothing in it. But on the front, we do have our power and reset. The reset button is tactile. This is like a standard switch. When you press it down, it just kind of stays there. 2 USB ports here. Then on the back, we simply have our power in. It says DC in, our AV out, and then a spot that's covered up. It says micro SD, and then HDMI out here. So they're just repurposing these shells. Hey, maybe you'll get the game station that has an HDMI. You know what's interesting is I'm looking around here. I don't see any obvious screws. So I assume these panels will slide off in some way because we're definitely opening this up. I might open up one of these controllers because it feels comically light just to see what exactly is going on in there. But for now, why don't we hook this system up and, well, see what's on it. All right, so the Game Station 5 is powered up. It's 201, so technically you get 200 games with it. Let's see, we have Super Mario 3, Super Mario, Harry Potter, Donkey Kong 3, Gradius, Galaga, and I guess this is gonna scroll on and on and on and on. I wonder if there's an easy way to, okay, so you just press right and left to sort of jump through them a bit quicker. Let's see, we have Block, Puzzle, Popeye, Star 4. So all we're really seeing here is, I mean, it's just one of those emulation boxes. It's very common to see these online, Amazon, eBay, they're just flooded with them. And I guess at this point, if they can dress it up to just look like a newer system, like a PlayStation 5, which is extremely popular, obviously people are looking for them all over the place, you're gonna probably sell some by accident even. There's Angry Birds on here, Plants vs. Zombie. We can jump into one of these. I'm just kind of scrolling all the way through to make sure I'm getting my entire 200 games. So I'm in Super Mario Bros. 3. It's well, it's Super Mario 3. I guess it's running how you'd expect an emulator to do it. It's nothing fancy, like I said. It's exactly what I expected here. But, oh, okay, never mind. So it's not actually running that well. There are some frame stutters here and there as I'm playing it. I don't know if it's through the capture device that I'm using as I have to play off of the screen that the AV's running to for the computer, but yeah, it doesn't run very well, just emulating, in this case, a pretty standard NES game. Also, I have no idea how I go back to the menu. I guess I have to hit just reset on here. Let's see. Yeah, it just kicks me back to the menu. Let's see what Harry Potter is. And what is this? I don't know what game this, I mean, I guess they say it's Harry Potter. I have no idea what I'm playing right now. Not what I was picturing when I selected Harry Potter. Someone in the comments will have to let me know if this is just like one of those cheapo, like if this is one of those games that's found on like different AliExpress plug and play 201 systems, because this looks like an interesting take on Harry Potter. Well, let's see if they got Pac-Man right at least. I mean, you can't really mess up Pac-Man. Yeah, looks pretty standard here. It's just a very, I guess, boring plug and play for what it looks like, which is a PS5. I mean, I wasn't expecting anything too crazy, but like, I don't know, at least if you're gonna rip off a system like the PS5, at least make it like have some unique features to it in terms of the plug and play side of things with the software, because they definitely spent some time trying to dress it up as well as they could here, like the PlayStation 5 with its unique look. Well, we might as well try to take these apart. The controller looks pretty straightforward. There are 4 Phillips head screws here on the bottom, and we take the back off. Looks about what I was expecting, which is, yeah, not much going on here. As I mentioned, it's pretty light. There's no shoulder buttons to deal with. I mean, this is less than what we have with like a Super Nintendo controller. It's basically an original Nintendo controller with worse D-pad and 2 extra buttons. But I'll admit, I'm at least a little curious about the Game Station 5, the main unit, because as I mentioned, there's no obvious screws to take out. So I assume these side panels have to come off in some way. So apparently the way this worked, as I was kind of pushing against the edges, this did eventually just pop right off of here, which, yeah, there's our board. But there were clips around here that were pretty difficult to get to. A lot of these top ones just got broken, but Now knowing where they are, it'd be pretty easy to just sort of go in, press in here with some sort of thin credit card or a spudger or something, and you could at least pop some of these clips out and then the whole side would come off. But like it's not a huge deal because we look in here and we can see our single board. Yeah, that's all that's really going on in here. I mean, we see how small this casing is, and it's still oversized for the board that they're using. I mean, this case is technically large enough to house like a Raspberry Pi. That'd be kind of fun to see a Raspberry Pi PS5 casing to kind of go along with that theme. But yeah, this just appears to be a very basic glob top board. You see these come out of like China, AliExpress, and all of this. They will sell these constantly. Anytime you see those cheaper systems that are like 101, 200, 300, 400, usually it's done in this way where you have some sort of like memory or flash storage here, then you have a glob top that does all of the emulation, which is just like its own SoC, and they just cover it in this junk. You can usually scrape away at that if you want to see exactly what's under there, but it's not really worth doing. I mean, we saw it was struggling to emulate Super Mario Bros. 3 decently well, so yeah, it tells me not exactly the most capable system. Also, just for fun, I was looking around for our main chip right here, and this one, from what I've been able to see online, is common in a lot of these these cheaper systems that have a bunch of games built in. And this chip in particular, you can find on different sites that sell chips for a couple of dollars. I think this chip in particular is it says the data sheet anyway, 32 megabits, so it's not much. Like, there's not a lot of space there. That's like, what, 4 megabytes of storage, and based on the fact that a lot of the games are pretty simple in nature, mostly being original Nintendo or even less than that, I guess they could technically get away with storage that's on the lower end there. Again, it's all designed to come together in a very cheap fashion so they can sell this for $50 or $60 all over the place. Also, if you're curious why this chip is attached to this green board, it's a bit harder to solder this chip down because it's ball grid array, which means underneath there's a bunch of like solder balls that would go through like an oven to melt it down, or using a hot air gun. Whereas if you just attach it here, you'd even be able to do this by hand with this this TSOP board. So generally that's why you'll see that. These will be like manufactured in bulk, and then you'll kind of solder these down on your own depending on what configuration you need. And ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it here for the GameStation 5. I wasn't expecting much, and I'm still disappointed, but I mean, it's a all-in-one system with like 200 games at $60. It's not exactly gonna be high quality, and in fact, the games that are on this system don't even run well in the first place, but it was interesting to take a look at what the GameStation 5 exactly is, and yeah, I'd recommend you probably stay away from it. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.